The skies above Threxel Prime boiled with ash and fire as the last hour of the century-long siege approached. A siege that had seen the finest warlords of 5 galactic empires fall before the relentless defenses of the Varnak swarm, an ancient race of hive-minded xenoforms whose biotechnological fortresses had never been breached, until now. For standing at the edge of the shattered no-man's land were the Deathworlder Cadets, a brutal experiment in warfare bred on the most hostile planets known to mankind. Children trained from birth to endure acid storms, gravity spikes, and predator-rich jungles now unleashed in perfect synchrony like a living weapon, their arrival unannounced, their methods unorthodox. While generals argued and fleets burned, they studied the terrain, hacked the enemy's neural hive field, and by minute 12 had already destabilized the swarm's core bionode, using redirected volcanic pressure and invasive neural feedback pulses delivered through genetically modified spores. By minute 15, 3 of the 5 megahives had imploded from psychic overload, the enemy's mental link fracturing with a soundless scream that echoed through subspace. And by minute 20, the Deathworlders stood inside the enemy throne spire, coated in bioluminescent gore, watching as the Varnak Queen dissolved into a puddle of twitching tissue, her final defense protocols overridden by a single cadet's whispered thought. There were no cheers, no celebration, just the quiet hiss of burning flesh and the click of weapons resetting, for to them, this wasn't victory, it was practice. In the aftermath of the Varnak Queen's annihilation, silence fell over Threxel, Prime like a suffocating shroud, broken only by the hum of scorched wind and the faint tremors of collapsing hive structures, as the Deathworlder Cadets moved deeper into the swarm's sanctum, not to secure the battlefield that was already done, but to harvest knowledge. For these cadets were more than weapons. They were apex tacticians, biohackers, and psychological warfare artists sculpted by pain and forged in death-world crucibles where hesitation meant extinction. Beneath the hive's central cortex, they discovered a pulsating relic buried in obsidian resin, a biomechanical construct predating the swarm itself, emitting a chaotic pattern of neural echoes, possibly a progenitor or forgotten controller, still transmitting commands to dying nodes, and instead of destroying it, Cadet Lyrics initiated a mind link, overriding standard protocol, diving into the ancestral memory stream of the Varnak with an audacity that would terrify even high command. And what she saw changed everything. Images of stars being seeded with swarm DNA by ancient architects, hints of a greater enemy, an architect, species manipulating evolution across galaxies using the Varnak as pawns. She broke the link gasping, blood pouring from her eyes, but she had seen coordinates, unknown systems far beyond the reach, encoded with warnings in languages no human tongue could speak, but every cadet somehow understood. They relayed the data silently, instinctively, each one absorbing fragments of the vision, and as one they knew this siege was never about Threxel Prime. It was a test, a containment protocol disguised as war, and they had just broken it. Orbital scans detected sudden spatial anomalies forming at the edge of the system. Impossible gravitational signatures flickering like heartbeat signals from an ancient god. And in response, the cadets didn't flinch. They began to reforge. The Varnak's fallen biotech into hybrid constructs, using dead hive matter and salvaged alien code to build weapons not yet imagined, repurposing everything into warforms tailored for the unknown threat. Even as High Command celebrated from afar, broadcasting hollow accolades to a galaxy too blind to grasp what had truly happened, the Deathworlders began their silent preparations, already planning deep incursion routes into the dark systems, already engineering new strategies based on quantum intuition and field adaptive biology. They were not heroes, they were harbingers, and Threxel Prime was not their triumph, it was their awakening. As the eerie calm settled over the fractured landscape of Threxel Prime, the Deathworlder Cadets moved with the cold efficiency of predators, sensing a new hunt, their every step measured against the weight of the revelations unearthed beneath the Varnak's shattered throne spire. For the coordinates discovered were more than just spatial data. They were a summons to the farthest reaches of uncharted space where ancient ruins whispered of civilizations long extinct and cosmic horrors lurking in the void. Cadet Aaron, the squad's foremost expert in xenolinguistics and cryptic data analysis, worked tirelessly to decrypt the layered warnings embedded within the progenitor signals, uncovering fragmented transmissions warning of an entity known only as the Eidolon, a gargantuan consciousness that devoured stars and consumed timelines, leaving only silence and chaos in its wake. And while such legends had existed on the fringe of galactic folklore, nothing in recorded history suggested it was anything but myth until now. This revelation sent ripples through the cadets' neural network, a shared psychic link forged in training and battle, amplifying their resolve and steeling their minds against the creeping dread of cosmic annihilation. For they understood that their victory over the Varnak swarm was merely the opening act of a far greater conflict, one that would test the limits of their bioengineered resilience and tactical genius. With no time to waste, the cadets initiated Operation Eclipse, a bold campaign combining cutting-edge technology scavenged from the Hive's remnants with their own adaptive combat systems, designed to infiltrate the cryptic coordinates and gather intelligence on the Eidolon before it could extend its destructive reach. Each bio-augmented warrior was outfitted with neural implants that allowed real-time synchronization of strategy and rapid adaptation to hostile environments, while genetically engineered symbiotes integrated with their physiology, granting enhanced sensory perception and regenerative capabilities, turning them into living weapons capable of thriving in the harshest alien conditions. As they boarded the sleek stealth craft modified for deep space reconnaissance, a tangible tension filled the air. Not fear, but the sharp focus born of understanding that failure meant not just death, but the obliteration of countless worlds and the erasure of all life. The cadets' journey took them through collapsing wormholes and nebulae swirling with radiation storms, testing their craft and themselves in ways no training had prepared them for. Yet they pressed onward, driven by the echoes of the Varnak's final warnings and the flickering hope that they might intercept the Eidolon's advance. Finally arriving at a desolate star system where time itself seemed distorted, they discovered relics of a civilization that had attempted to halt the Eidolon centuries ago, their ruins embedded with technology that pulsed faintly with residual energy, a haunting testament to a war lost to oblivion. Deciphering the ruins, the cadets realized the Eidolon was not merely a physical entity, but a multidimensional force capable of warping reality, and their only chance was to unravel the ancient defense matrix embedded within the star system, a complex lattice of quantum fields and biomechanical sentinels designed to imprison the Eidolon's essence. With relentless determination, the cadets integrated their bioforms with the ancient tech, adapting and evolving on the fly, pushing the boundaries of their own humanity as they fought off temporal distortions and nightmarish creatures spawned from the Eidolon's corrupted energies. As the operation reached its climax, the cadets initiated the star system's core destabilization sequence, a gambit to trap the Eidolon in a perpetual loop of quantum entrapment, buying precious time for the galaxy to prepare for the inevitable reckoning. Emerging from the collapsing system battered but unbroken, the Deathworlder Cadets broadcast their findings and warnings back to Galactic Command, their message clear. The siege on Threxial Prime was only the beginning, and only through relentless adaptation, unity, and sacrifice could the galaxy hope to stand against the coming darkness. Their faces, etched with exhaustion and resolve, reflected the grim knowledge that the fight for survival had truly just begun, and that the Deathworlders were no longer mere soldiers. They were the galaxy's last desperate hope against an ancient cosmic nightmare.